So here's the recovery unit from the earlier video that I showed, the Circon. Take off the board. This is really simple, no computerized circuit boards. You can fix everything in here. It is so simple. Nice little schematic. Makes it really easy to repair here. And the only circuit board you see is nothing complicated. This is nothing more than a your power supply. So this is your power supply where your 110 volts comes in, and then to control like the little actuators and to go through the circuits for the what's the name of this damn thing, the little relay for contact for just off and on for the motor is all through this. You can see the little rectifiers down below from the circuit board right here. That's all that is, to drop it down to, I believe, 24, 34, what they got it, 18 volts. This one's actually an 18 volt little transformer, not a 24 volt transformer. So super simple stuff. If the pump burned out, you could go down to any refrigerant supply store. On top of there's a tag. You give them that tag number, they could give you a compressor. You can change it like that real fast. The capacitor, if it goes bad, that's your megafarad. You get your voltage tester and put it on capacitor tester. Test your capacitor, which I'm going to do on this one to make sure it still works, that it's still good, since it's from the early 90s. And simple pressure switches. So here's where your suction line comes in. You connect right there to recover from the car. Real simple. It just goes in, it follows it around. This is an accumulator. It drops into the accumulator. The accumulator has a temperature sensor on it. And this right here is a heater. So you can see the ceramic right there to take high temperature, and you could see the silicone coating right here, so the wires don't burn back there. And these are high temperature, special high temperature wires. You'll see these in heater furnaces inside residential house. That's kind of like a fiberglass coating for really high temperature. That's what that is. And this boils off the refrigerant in the system. After you recovered it, the refrigerant will drop into an accumulator. At the same time, your motor is going on to recover the refrigerant. And as the motor takes in the refrigerant, just like a compressor on your car, this is your compressor, it will take it from the accumulator, and it has this EPR valve, or, well, it depends which one this is, but basically, all it does is control the pressure from the accumulator to the compressor. That's the only thing it's doing, is keeping this pressure constant. So this pressure constant, so it doesn't pull too fast. It can control and meter what comes back. It drops into the shell of the compressor. The motor takes in the vapor refrigerant. That's what the accumulator, even if liquid gets in here, the accumulator is to separate the vapor from the liquid, just like a car. And then it compresses it. Then it sends it out, and it goes, let's see if we could follow this travel. It goes into the little receiver down here, what's going to separate it out, or like a muffler stabilizer. And it says in right there. It goes in right there. It's going to come back out. This one, it looks right here. This is a one-way valve. Has a little arrow on it. Goes up, comes over. This little pigtail right here is nothing more than gas going to pressure, going to your gauge, directly feeding off the pressure. That's all these little wires are right there. The little tube, not wire. Goes in the top of your condenser. The air goes over. It condenses, comes back down as a liquid at the bottom. And if we follow it out of the condenser right here, it goes in this direction. And you can see here's another light indicator for lights on the front, but it comes out right here as a liquid. And then it goes into your recovery tank. Then down below, you can actually see the oil. Right here is your oil level. So after you recovered a car and it boiled off the refrigerant and sucked all the refrigerant out of the car, any oil that is inside here will be at the bottom, and that's the gauge right there. And it'll come out of here, and you can actually measure the ounces of oil that were removed from a car if you did recover any oil. So this is your oil separator. And then when you see oil in there, to drain out the oil, you just open up this little thing right here, and your oil would come pouring out. That simple. See, if you have a recovery or recycling equipment today, everything has circuit boards. Yes, it's automatic. That's convenient. But when it breaks down, nobody in your shop is going to be repairing the circuit boards. And especially when they have software going with circuit boards on the more fancy one. This one, anybody can fix this one. Same with the old refrigerant recycling machine. Everything I got was mechanical. I absolutely did not want any circuit boards or any software type of equipment, because when it breaks down, you have to wait for somebody. You have to order a circuit board. On this stuff, you go down to your local neighborhood refrigeration store that does commercial refrigeration and everything like that for all the restaurants. You can buy everything on this thing from a regular commercial refrigeration and appliance store. Get it same day. That's how easy mechanical stuff is. They threw all these bells and whistles and say, oh, it has to meet this ASE and this J code, this and all that bullshit. That's great, but you know you can do all that in your brain. You can manually turn valves. I know that seems a little difficult, and you can look at a timer, and you could watch the bleed down on the gauge as the pressure rises and stuff like that, and keep it really simple and cheap. Or you could buy one of the really expensive $10, $15, $20,000 machines and let it do all its bells and whistles for you. And of course, this is no longer compliant, but at the time this was compliant, and I had to fill out the what was it, the Bureau of Air Quality Management, EPA, and I had to take the serial number. Where's that serial number at? Well, I had to take the serial number, fill out the paper of all my equipment, and I send it into Sacramento in California to register all my air conditioning equipment. And this was, I think, one of my original units and my 2 recycling and recovery machines from 1992, 1994, something like that. I think this is a 94 model. We had a couple of these. And that's it. That's how simple. Now, this doesn't recycle. This only recovers, and it weighs about 80 pounds, if not more. Breaks your back. I definitely wouldn't lug it around. When I was 20 years old, 20-some years old, this was easy to move around. Now it breaks my back. A lot. Oh, let's talk about convenience. Let's look about this. Okay, so there's one there. There's one there. And this is, oh, this one's heavy. God damn it. That's why I don't have this one. This is the field piece 8 CFM. You can see that the field piece 8 CFM is bigger than the field piece 10 CFM. The field piece 8 CFM is heavier than the field piece 10 CFM. That's why I got the field piece 10 CFM. It costs more, but this one I can easily pick up. This one, the arthritis in my elbow doesn't let me do that no more. And my back doesn't like it as much. So that's why I spent a little more and got the 10 CFM, the VPX7. So if you have back problems, getting a little older, you just don't want to carry that heavy stuff anymore, that's the way to go. This is definitely not the way to go. And yeah, just got that one in there too. So we're all set to go. See you guys later. It's late at night, but I'm gonna put this to use again, and because I need more recycling and recovery capabilities for transferring refrigerant between cylinders, and because I have about 40 cylinders now, and I've been busy and I haven't been recycling the last 2 or 3 weeks, so I got a lot of catch up and I need some extra help. See you guys.